I'm soaking through and through. And then you handed me a towel, and all I see is you. And even if my house falls down now, I wouldn't have a clue, because you're near me. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And just to be with you is having the best day of my life. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And just to be with you is having the best day of my life.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Local government minister says no expense will be spared to prepare the country in what's predicted to be an overly active hurricane season. NEPA says it has opened a probe into latest fish kill in the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. Former PNP MP Lloyd B. Smith warns against going after civil servants in the run-up to a general election. In regional news, a Chicago woman has gone missing in the Bahamas. In international news, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is finally a free man. In sports, the Reggae Boys meet Ecuador in crucial clash at the Copa America in the USA. And in business, CIBC Caribbean launches Digital Hub. The details after the break.
Attention engine enthusiasts in Jamaica. Did you know that Lucalza Caribbean is the only authorized distributor of Chevron lubricants? Lucalza has been the trusted partner for Chevron lubricants in Jamaica for over 13 years, offering the full range of Chevron and Texaco products including Ursa, Haviland, Supreme, Delo, and more. For peace of mind and superior engine care, trust the Chevron lubricants portfolio, distributed by Lucalza Caribbean and their network of reliable resellers. Don't compromise your engine performance. Drive with Chevron. Drive with confidence.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the government has taken unprecedented steps to prepare the country on the heels of warnings about an extremely active hurricane season.
And I want to use a political platform tonight to send a message to Jamaican, GLP and PNP, no P at all. Get yourselves in order. Do not dismiss what the experts are saying. And your government is mindful. That is why this government made the necessary arrangements. We have insurance. We have bonds. Never before in the history of Jamaica that any government has made provision if we are faced with disaster. We don't have to run, go beg nobody, no money. We don't have to wait on assistance.
Minister Mackenzie was addressing a meeting of the JLP's Area Council 1 in Fletcher's Land, Kingston, on Tuesday night. The meeting was held under the theme West Kingston Live, We Choose Jamaica. In reiterating that the government has been proactive, Minister Mackenzie hailed the $500 million National Disaster Fund and the International Disaster Risk Insurance secured by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. He also gave the commitment that additional funds will be allocated to municipal corporations to prepare for the hurricane season.
The municipal corporations will be using the allocation that they get from the parochial revenue fund for the month of June for drain cleaning mitigation exercise. The Prime Minister, who is the Minister with responsibility for works, have written to all members of Parliament advising of an allocation to deal with mitigation across the country. Your government is being proactive in preparing the country just in case.
Desmond Mackenzie, Minister of Local Government. Meanwhile, the Minister in charge of Water and the Environment, Matthew Samuda, made this plea to residents of West Kingston as he outlined measures being put in place for this hurricane season.
Anybody in Central Kingston, West Kingston that you see throwing garbage down the manhole, them including tires, including all car parts, on need to stop it because it is damaging the already old sewage system and causing problems for our people. And I am begging and imploring, call Minister Mackenzie, call your supervisor, call Matthew Samuda, call any labourite you know and get the information to us because that is a big part of the problem.
Senator Matthew Samuda, Minister with responsibility for water and the environment, and Minister Mackenzie says he understands the frustration of those of his constituents who've experienced persistent challenges with their water supply. He says relief is on the way.
When I hear Matthew spoke about the things that needs to be done, I can tell you the system in West Kingston is old, in the corporate area is old. Meekly wait and murmur not.
Desmond Mackenzie, Minister of Local Government and the MP for West Kingston. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, says it has started an investigation into the latest contamination in fish kill at the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. In a statement on Tuesday, NEPA says the investigation is being done in Zephyrton, Linstead. The agency says the pollution of the river occurred on Monday. According to NEPA, heavy rains on Sunday in the area may have resulted in storm water running into the river, contaminating it. On arriving at the location, NEPA says its team found unresponsive fish floating in the river, along with a strong pungent odor. However, it was unable to specify the contaminant found in the body of water. An on-site test by NEPA confirmed an elevation in the pH of the water, which may have contributed to the death of the river's marine life. NEPA says its team has collected water samples for further lab analysis to determine the source and type of contaminant. The agency noted that it will update further on its findings and will also advise on measures being pursued to safeguard the Rio Cobre. Former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Lloyd B. Smith, says the political targeting of civil servants in the run-up to a general election is a dangerous practice. He was reacting to the call by the PNP professional affiliate, the Patriots, for Permanent Secretary in the Health Ministry, Dunstan Bryan, to resign. Bryan has been under fire in recent weeks for perceived failings in the health sector. Dana Davey has more in this report.
Lloyd B. Smith represented Central St. James in the House of Representatives from 2012 to 2016. He won that seat on a PNP ticket. But on the matter of the call for the resignation of the Permanent Secretary in the Health Ministry, Mr. Smith has parted ways with his former political colleagues. He says the call from the PNP Patriots and youth organization is dangerous.
When a political party, especially the opposition, goes after a civil servant that is serving the government in office, then it comes across as if that civil servant is let me put it quite bluntly, a supporter of a party in power. It does have that undertone, which I think is a dangerous way to go.
The former Deputy House Speaker says if the opposition legitimately wants answers, they should seek them through the use of parliamentary committee hearings. He says the independence of the civil service is fundamental and must be respected.
We are in the silly season, and one can understand that the PMP is riling up for the general election. But, I think there has to be a line drawn in the sand that does not allow for the civil servant to be pilloried and tarred and feathered without there being due process in determining whatever they may be deemed to be guilty of, whether it is a matter of incompetence or, whatever. I think it sends a wrong message to the public at large when they are put in that sort of situation.
Mr. Smith says political attacks on civil servants risk unfairly tainting them in the eyes of the public. He says the call for the resignation of a permanent secretary may ultimately be counterproductive.
Let's face it, if you ask someone like a permanent secretary to resign, okay, so he packs up his bag and goes. Does that really solve the problem? Does that make the thing more clear in terms of what went wrong? I don't think so. It is best to have the person stay in the position and then you carry out the necessary probes, whether, as I said, by a public inquiry or a commission of inquiry or a special committee of parliament to look into the matters at hand. We have the Auditor General, we have the Integrity Commission, we have all these areas that can be brought to the fore to deal with these matters.
Lloyd B. Smith was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Dana Davey for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, public commentator Sondre Roden says the call for the permanent secretary to resign was premature.
This is law. This is something that we do not want to get into. Silly season or not, I don't know if the patriots that released this, they don't have an understanding of how the governance structure works.
Mr. Roden is questioning whether the PNP affiliate group is familiar with the governance structure of the country.
If you understand governance and the separation, as it were, between politics and the governance structure as it relates to the ministry, permanent secretary, and the civil servant, you would not have made that call in the first place. And I don't believe that our politics should go there, and it needs to stop dead in its tracks right now.
Sondre Roden, public commentator, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. And political commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang is challenging the media to do a better job of interrogating the claims of the PNP before broadcasting them to the public. The PNP has in recent weeks issued daily media releases making numerous allegations of government mismanagement. Mr. O'Brien Chang says the opposition should be challenged to provide evidence to support its claims.
My question is, did they come with evidence? When they ask the people to resign and this and that, have they brought their evidence of why they think this should happen? And in fact, before the media gives any oxygen to these press releases, they should bring them on and say, okay, show us your evidence why you think these people should resign. And if you can't show proper evidence, why should I take you seriously?
Kevin O'Brien Chang, a political commentator, he was also speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Now, Minister with responsibility for information, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says that people must face consequences for purposefully spreading misinformation. Dr. Morris-Dixon was speaking on Tuesday evening at a JOP Area Council 1 meeting held at the Fletcher's Land Community Center in West Kingston. She says the Holderness Administration is not afraid of criticism.
We are very much supportive, and we have always been, as a party, the right to say what you want to say. But what we are saying is that you must say things that are true. And when you say things that are false, and you know it's false, and you spread it, there has to be consequences for that. Of course you can cuss us. We can take it, because we know we're doing a good job. And usually the cussing just means we know you can do even more because you're so good already. So we're all right with the cussing. What we want, though, is for the conversation to be based on truth.
Dr. Morris Dixon says the GLP strives for a democratic society. However, she adds that despite this, people should not be able to get away free with spreading lies.
We're a country that's built on democracy. We're a country built on freedom of speech. Anybody can say anything, right? And that's what we're built on. And that's a great thing, and that's an important thing. But at the same time, what you're saying have to be truthful. It can't just be lies. And so what the government has to figure out is how do you balance it? You don't want to stop people from talking. You don't want to stop people from saying, I don't like what you just did, or I think you could do it better. Because that's what you do in a democracy. You say what you want, but it cannot be that you're allowed to say anything you want, especially when it is a lie.
Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister with responsibility for information. Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ Michael Jackson, says legislation already exists to effectively respond to malicious and harmful communication in the online space. She was responding to Prime Minister Andrew Holness's declaration that the government will be exploring ways to clamp down on the spread of fake news and misinformation in the digital space. Mahira Stewart has more in this report.
Michael Jackson says for more serious online offences, victims can seek redress under a raft of existing laws.
You have the Defamation Act. It was revised in 2013 thereabout following a repeal of the sedition law. What it says, if someone were to share information about you that is either false or may cause reputational harm, you do have the recourse of the court. It doesn't have to lead to compensation. And make reference to Darrell Vaz's case recently where the individual was asked to make a public apology. You also have the Cybercrime Act where if you share malicious information and information that is threatening or menacing, you can find yourself facing possible criminal charges. However, there is a particular threshold that must be met wherein the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is going to be asking the question, was there criminal intent or were you just careless in what you were sharing?
Ms. Jackson says the Offences Against the Person Act and the Data Protection Act can also be used to provide legal protection from online attacks. The Prime Minister's suggestion of a clampdown has been criticized in some quarters as a potential threat to free speech. The opposition PNP has specifically criticized the Prime Minister's utterance as a threat to democracy. Ms. Jackson says the government should seek to better utilize official channels to combat false information in the digital space.
If the issue is that people are not sharing information that is accurate, I ask the question, what is the non-legislative means that we can exercise right away? We have the Jamaica Information Service. We have PBC. How can they do proactive information sharing to ensure that we raise the consciousness of our people and we also raise the knowledge base of our people? So if someone puts information out there, based on my knowledge of processes, the achievements of the government, the policy positions of the government, but also the other members of parliament, I can say, that is not true. So that is also an area that we can lead on.
The JFJ Executive Director says the Prime Minister should exercise caution in his utterances to avoid creating unnecessary panic in the society that citizens are being tracked and monitored online by the government.
Absolutely. There was consternation when I heard the comment. And again, I just urge the Prime Minister to be a little bit more cautious in comments being made of this nature and to ensure that the government has a developed policy position on these matters, because we are operating in a time when there is sensitivity. We have NIDS being launched now and the public may be listening on and say, will my information be used for the purpose it was not intended to? So the Prime Minister should exercise caution.
Ms. Jackson was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less,
or 2 or 3,
at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure.
The solution is simple, right? Act now.
Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-371-4-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, the family of Taylor Casey, a Chicago woman who went missing in the Bahamas during a yoga retreat, say they are deeply concerned for her safety and well-being. The 41-year-old Casey was last seen June 19 on Paradise Island in Nassau. According to family members, Casey had been attending a yoga retreat on the island. The Royal Bahamas Police issued a missing persons poster on June 21, alerting the public to her disappearance. In January, the United States issued Level 2 travel advisory for the Bahamas, warning that travelers should exercise increased caution in the country due to crime. In international news, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has landed in Australia after walking free from a U.S. court. He hugged his wife and father at the airport as a small group of supporters cheered his arrival. He pleaded guilty to one charge in the court in the Northern Mariana Islands on Wednesday, bringing an end to a 14-year-long court battle. Assange was pursued by U.S. prosecutors for publishing secret military information and fared a long sentence in a high-security U.S. prison. Last week, he signed a deal with the U.S. that would see him plead guilty to one charge instead of the 18 he was originally facing. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Excerpt from Minister Desmond McKenzie's sectoral presentation, brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development.
This year, a new homeless facility. I broke ground in Port Antonio about 3 weeks ago. Will be built at a cost of over $50 million, Madam Speaker. This is, in addition, Madam Speaker, to the 14 shelters announced by the most honorable Prime Minister in his budget presentation. The work has commenced with the National Housing Trust in identifying the lands across Jamaica for the construction of these facilities. This is a government, a caring, understanding government, Madam Speaker.
Excerpt from Minister Desmond McKenzie's sectoral presentation, brought to you by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development.
Does your organization need help to achieve compliance with the Data Protection Act? Contact We Manage Trust today at 876-339-5982 or email info@wemanagetrust.com. Let their team help you to achieve compliance with confidence and learn about their tailored MSME packages. We Manage Trust, the data protection experts. Give them a call at 876-339-5982. That's 876-339-5982. 5982. Call them today. In your morning sports report, the Reggae Boys and Ecuador will lock horns in a Group B encounter at the Copa America in Las Vegas today. Both teams will be seeking their first win of the tournament. The Reggae Boys opened their campaign with a 1-0 loss against Mexico, while Ecuador were beaten 2-1 by Venezuela in their first game. Coach of the Reggae Boys, Mirhal Grimson, is upbeat ahead of kickoff.
We decided just to keep the correct time zone, so we are almost training at the Texas time. Reason being is that it's really hot in the mornings here, so in Celsius, maybe close to 38 degrees Celsius already at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we would like to start our trainings before it gets past 40 degrees. So we try to have everything short and sharp, not to waste too much energy and lose too much liquid during training.
Hamir Hulgrimson. Now, South Africa and Afghanistan will meet in the first semi-final of the ICC T20 World Cup at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Trinidad and Tobago today. While both teams have been giving stellar performances throughout the tournament, Afghanistan in particular has been garnering acclaim for their stunning wins against Australia and New Zealand. Afghanistan have won 5 matches of the 7 they played in total, while South Africa have won all 7 matches they played during the tournament. Both South Africa and Afghanistan have yet to win an ICC T20 trophy. Meanwhile, defending champions England take on India in semi-final 2 on Thursday. It's now time for the Nationwide Olympic Fact, sponsored by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
This is Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
Did you know that Jamaican athletes competed as part of a unified Caribbean team at one Olympic Games? Yes, that's a fact. Jamaica's athletes competed as part of the West Indies Federation team at the 1960 Olympics in Rome.
That was Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
That's it for your morning sports.
Live exquisite this year with new arrival black and chrome fixtures for your home at Unique Living. Select from a wide variety of rain shower systems, fabulous faucets, and stylish sinks to suit your kitchen and bathrooms. Get uncompromised quality and style unique to you. Shop everything new at Unique Living, Jamaica's leading shower and faucets provider. Visit shop number 630 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10, or call 876-755-3661 to 2.
In business this morning, CIBC Caribbean has launched its new digital hub, Waste Bank, that allows its clients to now access all of the bank's digital products and services in one convenient spot. CIBC Caribbean says the move has been made as it recognizes that 94% of all banking transactions are being conducted online. The bank says the digital hub provides clients with convenient and flexible access to information on various digital banking services through a centralized platform. These include paying bills and other instant payments. The Ways to Bank hub is accessible to clients on both mobile and desktop devices. Executive Director of Personal and Business Banking at CIBC, Deepa Bukad, says this recent innovation from CIBC Caribbean reaffirms the bank's promise of delivering a simplified way of doing business and demonstrates how digital banking can be integrated into the daily lives of its clients. Now, German car-making giant Volkswagen VW says it will invest up to $5 billion in Tesla rival Rivian. The deal creates a joint venture that will allow VW and the U.S.-based electric vehicle EV maker to share technology. Rivian shares jumped by almost 50% after the announcement. The tie-up comes as competition intensifies between EV makers and Western countries move to impose tariffs on Chinese imports. Under the agreement, VW said it will initially invest $1 billion in the electric truck and SUV maker, with another $4 billion to be put into the company by 2026. Founded in 2009, Rivian has not yet posted a quarterly profit. In the first 3 months of 2024, the company saw a net loss of more than $1.4 billion. VW, like other motor industry giants, has come under pressure from rivals like Tesla and China's BYD as it tries to make the shift from fossil fuel-powered vehicles. In foreign exchange trading now, the Jamaican dollar has lost 5 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $156.87 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has gained 12 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $114.91 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has also gained 91 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $198.73 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
For all your musical needs, visit the Music Mart, the most complete music store in Jamaica. Telephone 876-960-7712. The time brought to you by the Music Mart is
6:30.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit account puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Taste it, eat it, drink it, applaud it. The 25th staging of the Jamaica Observer Table Talk Food Awards, the Caribbean's premier culinary event, powered by MasterCard, takes place Thursday, June 27th, Devon House. The one-night-only evening of excellence in food creation, service and event decor is sponsored by Tasty, Tourism Enhancement Fund, Breast Strike, Johnny Walker, Sagicor, The Best Dressed Chicken, Appleton Estate, Pepsi, Suppligen, Eve, Gold Seal, Wasinko, Rainforest, Main Event, Island Car Rentals, King Alarm, Megamart and Derriman Trading. Adults 18 years and over. Drink responsibly.
This outstanding 6'4" athlete credits Jamaica with her first Olympic victory ever.
Jamaica is filled with Olympians.
World record holder McKinley dashes into the lead.
We must never forget the forerunners of Jamaican Olympic greatness.
Coming into the home stretch, it's Wint who challenges the leader.
Win or lose, athletes never forget their Olympic experience.
Fairly knocky and devastated. Another world-class feeling. And Hemmings is going to do it. Hemmings wins it. She's the champion. A personal
Win or lose, Jamaicans will cheer the loudest at the Olympics so that the world will never forget who we are.
Is moving away, and Jamaica retain their title, and the world record has been taken apart. Oh, I say!
From July 26 to August 11, tune in only to Nationwide 90 FM for the coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, because we're here to ensure that you never forget. Nationwide's coverage is powered by our bronze sponsors: National Road Operating and Constructing Company Limited, Grace Foods, Spirits Expression Sports Lounge, Imperial Optical Jamaica, Rainforest Caribbean, and Sunshine Snacks.
Attention all commuters, your JUTC fares just got lower. Use your Smarter card today and pay only $50. Yes, only $50. Travel safe and hassle-free with the JUTC using your Smarter card. But wait, there's more. Get 3 free rides with your first Smarter card top-up before May 31. With your Smarter card, paying your fare is easier. Say goodbye to coins and hello to hassle-free travel. Don't miss this opportunity when you travel with the JUTC, your route to excellence. Conditions apply.
Dive into your summer projects with Milwaukee Tools from SCL Jamaica Limited in their big blowout sale of up to 70% off. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee Tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs June 3 to July 31. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Most I Rastafari Almighty, so I say, okay. Man, Marcus, Honorable. So much things to give thanks for, I don't even know where to start. So I come before thee with a very grateful heart. And in this Gideon, I will always play my part.
If I ever forget to give thanks, Jah, please remind me. If I ever get lost, please find me and stand beside me. Rastafari Almighty. If I ever forget to give thanks, Jah, please remind me. If I ever get lost, please find me and stand beside me to protect and guide me. Cause I'm so blessed and I won't stress. I know Jah loves me, I won't guess. Pagans may talk but Jah knows best. They're trying to stop me but I won't let them be a threat to I. Nor even get to I, nor step to I. Rastafari protect the eye, and King Emmanuel bless the eye. With more words of truth, but Marcus be a prophesy. And Queen Omega on the right hand, I will praise the King as long as I can. He made me and I can praise Rastafari and let the world know. Bonfire like an inferno. Although I have learned from all life lessons, giving thanks for all my blessings. I have seen the King's words manifesting. The roads of Rastafari impressing. If I ever forget to give thanks, Jah, please remind me. If I ever get lost, please find me and stand beside me. Rastafari Almighty. If I ever forget to give thanks, Jah, please remind me. If I ever get lost, please find me and stand beside me to protect and guide me.
A A very good morning to you. Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, the big show. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us in the space. As usual, it is hump day. It is Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Good morning to you. Happy to have you. I'm Tona Thomas.
And I'm George Davis. Good morning, Tona.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah. And good morning to Siobhan as well. Yeah, Siobhan must be a very happy lad. No, he's not here. But good morning to him. I know I said Siobhan must be a very happy lad this month.
Oh, because it's his month.
It is his month.
Oh, they been have to go check him then, man.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as him come, I go link him. Come a friend, you know. For a long time, I come on road.
So good morning to you, Chev. Yeah, people get really excited around here in Nationwide for a particular reason. At the end of the month.
You know, should more you play tune, King? More you play what name? Shano. Wait till me get my partner.
he just pulled the secret out the bag. Yeah. But never want to say to no come here and say. I'm saying to myself, what if Chef doesn't want people know they hold of money?
King. But King, hold on there. King, tell me something.
Maybe it's my fault.
When did I say anything about... But just ask you to play a tune by Shane.
Come on, no, George.
I see you yesterday. You dropped the bag. You fumbled the bag yesterday. You. Yeah. But
listen, I tell you, after the show now, Dana said, listen, all of you can make up and make sure she gets a king.
So true.
So Dana is a good sport. God. Dana is a good sport. She was completely in on the joke. Dana said, listen, all of you now need to contribute so she can buy herself a king-size bed.
Robbie and Williams. Wow. Chef's month. George just had to say, Robin, me never say nothing. Me never say a thing. Why is Robin? Why is she up at 6:30? She's on leave. Stay on leave, Robin. But I saw Robin in the office yesterday. She came to see me. She came to sit with me for a while. We were shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Robin, you know nothing for do? Come back at work.
I tell you something about us, you know. No, I've stopped doing it. I've stopped being on vacation and in the chat and participating in news production. I've stopped.
Yeah, man, Ricardo, them can't go up and leave. Tana can't go up and leave. Robin can't go up and leave. Yeah.
There's something about Nationwide. But,
really?
But I'm weaning myself. I'm weaning myself.
Robin says she's getting her daughter ready for school.
Well, there you go.
Then focus on getting your daughter ready for school and stop interfere with the people about them chat. All right, good. I want to say good morning to Jacqueline Thomas, Angela Jones, Novelet Robinson, Ryder 40, my brethren Kirk Buchanan, Merlene Fid, Albert Morgan, Mega Tootsie, Who Done It, morning Who Done It, PB, morning PB. So them have porridge and bread for me. Is it Jacqueline? Yeah, man, Jacqueline Thomas, she has porridge.
That's a good breakfast.
And bread. Yeah, man. Send it now, Jacqueline, good morning.
And you guys are white bread or brown bread? Or are you guys crackers people?
No, I'm not a fan of
for
crackers
your porridge.
But they keep crackers and we can work.
Yeah.
But I bread it. I bread the porridge. I don't crackers the porridge.
Yeah, I'm more so a bread person as well.
Morning, Paul Peart. Morning, Marva Glanville. Sims Jason. I don't see Marigold yet. Maybe she know you get Marigold. Yeah, drink your mint tea. Morning, I don't see you yet, Marigold. Report Marigold. Morning, I don't see Caroline Smith yet. Caroline, you are late this morning. 1600 plus and you're not among them. Angela Jones, good morning. Patrick Godfrey, good morning. Bert Plus, morning, Bertie. Novelet, good morning, Novelet. I see you waving. Morning, Novelet. SH, yeah, man, SH. Morning. And Leroy Rottiman, Jerk Goat, morning, Leroy. All the best to you.
And a special good morning to Amira, who is Robin's daughter. Mm-hmm. Robin says Amira is listening to the program. So good morning to you, Amira.
Good
hope
morning,
you're having
Amira.
a good morning.
Yes.
And I hope you have a good day at school today.
Absolutely so.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We have a situation on our hands where the media war in the run-up to the election, whenever it's called next year, is already at its peak. I've been saying to my team over the last 2 weeks, Don, or 3?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that pointing out that look at this trend, look at what's happening. So now, the health minister, who's due to host a press conference this morning?
He's due to be at Postcab.
Postcab this morning. Has this huge target on his back. And the PNP are throwing darts aplenty. Not just trying to hit the center, but to hit all the rings around the center. They're lobbing petards aplenty at the health minister. And you should look at this not from where your politics lies, because if you talk to those who support the PNP, they'll tell you that the health sector is in shambles. If you talk to those who support the JLP, they tell you that the panic and the crisis is contrived, and that the minister and his permanent secretary are being pilloried in the name of politics only, and that the PNP have strategically gone after Tufton because that's the only way you can explain the daily deluge of press releases from some people who you have to Google them to find out who they are. They're listed in the press releases from the PNP media unit. I said, well, who the person here? I've never heard this person speak on anything, but this person has something to say about the health sector. That's what the labor rights will tell you. And then there are other people looking on and saying, well, fact of the matter is, with the amount of resources at the disposal of the health ministry, things ought to be better. And it's on the things ought to be better point that I want to spend just a little bit of the little time I have left. Because I maintain that regardless of which party you support, well, let me not put it that way. If you're a supporter of the government, you must feel when you hear in the news a report of a patient who needs emergency care having to catch up on a tough chair at the hospital because there is no bed, and that person having to wait days to get emergency care because of the backlog. No, unlike a lot of people who, if there's a shortage of Panadol at a hospital, them say, what is the minister doing about it? If the AC at a hospital is not working, them say what the minister is doing about it. If something having to do with the management of a hospital is not up to standard, they ask what the ministry is doing about it. We know better. Those are not things that ministers deal with. But at the same time, the system that the minister presides over, the question is, how well is that system working? How well are the managers at the hospitals and those who exert leadership at the level of the regional health authorities? How well are they discharging their duties? There are legitimate questions to ask about that. What I can say as well, I've said it here already, and I'm saying it again. My very first assignment as a journalist, when I came here in 2005, like 2 weeks after leaving university, was to go to the University Hospital of the West Indies. I was sent there by my editor because a woman called to say her mother, who needed emergency care, was 3 days and counting, propped up on a chair at UWI, waiting for a bed. That was 2005. And every year we hear the same stories, which prompted me to ask a medical practitioner, 47 years deep in the business. He has 47 years experience as a medical doctor in Jamaica. I said to him, brethren, when in this country's history was the health sector such that we didn't hear the stories that we're hearing today? He said, well, George, I have to go back to the 70s. Because I said to him, you can't tell me about the 80s because those problems were rife in the 80s. Same thing with the 90s, same thing with the 80s, and same thing with the 90s. So the question has to be asked, why is it that perennially we have so many problems with the provision of healthcare in the country? And why, when we have more resources now dealing with than at any time before, do we still have these same problems that existed when we didn't have as much resources as we have now? That is the question. The question is not whether or not Tufton should resign because the AC at the operating theatre not working. No, Tufton work that. Come on now. But at the same time, what is the level of accountability in the system that Tufton, the policymaker, presides over a system that is working optimally with the resources available? The question we have to ask is this: what we're getting out of the health services in totality, is this the best money can buy? That's the question. The managers of the hospitals, is this the best that they can do? Those at the board level, is this the best leadership they can exert? Then you go up to the top and you talk about the policy and say, well, is Tufton making bad policy, good policy, or no policy? And then you judge on that. But this attempt to make it look like I went to the hospital and I had to wait, what is the minister doing about it? We all know that's rubbish. But amid all of that, there are still genuine questions to ask Jamaica. The healthcare system that we have, are we happy with it?
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:49.
Accelerate your career with the right ally. Mona School of Business and Management. Explore our suite of highly ranked, specialized, globally competitive graduate degrees, including our internationally accredited MBA program. At MSBM, we nurture critical thinkers and innovative leaders, placing our graduates in a league of their own. Join the community of trailblazers making an impact at home and abroad. Apply online today. Global knowledge, regional solutions.
Plan your tomorrow today. Introducing JMMB's Hello Future Retirement Planning website. Figure out how much you'll need to be set for life with our calculated tools and tips at your fingertips. Visit hellofuture.jmmb.com and start your journey to your dream retirement today. Conditions apply.
Nationwide 90 FM is at it again. Team Revolution will clear every hurdle and sprint to the finish line as we cover the games of the 33rd Olympiad from Paris, the city of love.
Fraser Price gets the start, and look at this, Ahuri going well, and here they're coming to close it down. Jetta's coming through, but Fraser Price on the near side, the Olympic champion defends! She defends the title. Wonderful run by Shelly Ann.
Nationwide's coverage is powered by our diamond sponsor, Pizza Hut. Now, that's delivering from all locations, island-wide.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
.51 on this Wednesday morning. Ludlow McLean is up and about. Morning, Ludlow. What's the state of the roads?
Morning, George. Morning, Tona.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
Motoring public. Just to give you a quick update on the boulevard. It's work in progress. Still work in progress. Part of that way heading west is blocked, and they were doing they're trying to relay some asphalt there, so you're going to have a little challenge as you make your way on the westbound side. Up to about minutes after 5 this morning, they were doing the westbound side, the two lanes were shared coming east, right? So that was the problem. Yeah, I don't know if by now it is sorted out, but you're going to have a little problem, motorists, heading west towards 6 miles coming from Mulline Boulevard. Okay. In the meantime, in other areas, the traffic is moving steady at this point in time. No great build-up yet. as you make your way along Reddy's Road, Manninges Road, and even coming down Shortwood Road, going across Grand Spend, where the movement is pretty good so far. No problems, no delay. And going across Barbican, it's even free-flowing all the way down to East Kingshouse Road and going further down. Dademus Cream, Hope Road, going into Half the Tree. The busiest area is really in the Half the Tree area. Coming down Constant Spring Road, all 4 lanes are busy going to Half the Tree Square. Before first support for the morning, and safe and sound. Definitely. Back to you, George.
Thank you very much, Ludlow McLean there with the first Report Street Smarts one. Up next, the word of the day.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day, spelled Gestalt, spelled Gestalt.
Gestalt. Gestalt. Gestalt.
Gestalt is your word of the day. It's a noun and it means something with 2 or more parts that are so integrated that they are perceived as one. Gestalt, something with 2 or more parts that are so integrated that they are perceived as one. And dictionary.com is telling us this morning that Gestalt was first used between 1920 and 1925. And to use it in a sentence, the Gestalt of the novel's narrative structure with its interwoven stories provides a rich, layered experience for readers. Gestalt is your word of the day, spelled Gestalt.
I saw a placard yesterday in Nairobi, the protesters.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. The man. So the camera wasn't focusing on him, but he apparently saw the camera and he ran in front of it with the placard. Speaking of the President, William Ruto,
Mm-hmm.
it said, when he's not lying, he's flying. Because the accusation is that he's always on some foreign trips. Yeah, my man. So when he's not flying, he's lying. Simple as that. I thought that was
And he was away yesterday while those protests were taking place. Case in point.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
A clean fish tank looks great and provides a nice home for your fish. Over time, chemicals can build up in your fish tank, which leads to a cloudy appearance. Even if you use a fish tank filter, it's still important to hand clean your tank. In Pets World today, how to clean your fish tank. Steps for cleaning. It's best to keep your fish in the fish tank when you clean. Removing them will run the risk of accidentally hurting them. It is possible to keep your fish in the tank while you clean because you don't need to remove all the water to clean the tank properly. If you regularly clean your tank, doing a partial water change is the best option in order to avoid removing all of the beneficial bacteria from the tank. Also, when you prepare to clean your fish tank, it's okay to leave plants and decorations in place. These only need to be cleaned when they begin to look dirty. Start with the sides. To begin cleaning your fish tank, start by unplugging the heater and the filter. You can then scrape algae off the sides of the tank. If the sides of your tank are made with acrylic instead of glass, it's recommended to use a plastic scraper. After you finish cleaning the sides, you can start with the gravel. You can use a siphon to vacuum dirt off the gravel. You can also use the siphon to remove a portion of the tank's dirty water. After you've finished cleaning your tank, you can refill the tank with new water. Make sure the new water you put in the tank has already had the chlorine removed using a conditioning treatment. This is the only time you should add water to the fish tank. Clean plants, rocks, and decorations. Remove these items from the tank and scrub them under running water or leave them to soak in water overnight. After they are clean, you may carefully replace them in the fish tank. Things to watch out for. How often you will need to clean your fish tank depends on your aquarium size, the number of fish, the types of fish, and the filtration system you have. It's also important to keep an eye on the pH, nitrate, and ammonia levels in your fish tank. It can be helpful to keep notes of each of these levels so you can track them and to make sure they stay consistent over time. A level that is too high or too low for what is normal may indicate a problem and lead to health issues for your fish or cloudy water in your tank. Here are some general rules to help you determine how often to clean your fish tank. Watch your fish to make sure they're behaving normally and aren't gasping for air. If they are, it could be a sign that you need to do a partial water change. Fish depend on you for their survival and happiness. Spend time watching them and getting to know their routine. Watch for water evaporation. It's helpful to examine all of the equipment in your fish tank twice a year to ensure the filters, pumps, and lights are in good condition. That's it for Pets World today.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Bling, bling, and more bling. Yup. I'm here to share a few tips on appropriate jewelry for a businesswoman. It's time for your lifestyle pages, and I'm Tana. The shiny drop earrings and the noisy bangle bracelets. Is it too much? Jewelry should not be noisy or too large. Keep earrings small, simple, and above the earlobe. It is better to wear no jewelry at all than to wear too much jewelry. A nice conservative wristwatch is always complimentary though. Besides, it is a necessary piece of your wardrobe as a professional. Neck pieces are also optional, but if you choose to wear a necklace, keep it simple. If you're ever unsure about what may or may not be appropriate, seek guidance from management or read over your contract. You may just have forgotten something that is listed in the company's dress code guidelines. That was your Lifestyle Pages. I'm Tana.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is...
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news this morning, Wednesday, June 26, 2024, ODPEM says Jamaicans should feel the impact of dust from the Sahara starting today. Local government minister says no expense will be spared to prepare the country in what's predicted to be an overly active hurricane season. And NEPA says it has opened a probe into latest fish kill in the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. Overseas WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is finally a free man.
News at 7 is brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is warning that Saharan dust is set to reach the island today, Wednesday, June 26. The Met Service issued a weather forecast of a wave of dust from the Sahara Desert that will impact Jamaica on Wednesday morning. The dust mass will move across the island from Wednesday until Thursday afternoon. The ODPEM is urging the public and persons with dust-related illnesses such as allergies, asthma, sinusitis, and other respiratory issues to take the necessary health safety precautions, including 1. Keeping windows closed, 2. Staying indoors if possible, 3. Wearing a mask when outdoors, and 4. Staying hydrated. ODPEM says it will continue to monitor the Saharan dust situation and provide the public with updates as necessary. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the government has taken unprecedented steps to prepare the country on the heels of warnings about an extremely active hurricane season.
And I want to use a political platform tonight to send a message to Jamaican, GLP and PNP, no pay at all. Get yourselves in order. Do not dismiss what the experts are saying. And your government is mindful. That is why this government made the necessary arrangements. We have insurance. We have bonds. Never before in the history of Jamaica that any government has made provision if we are faced with disaster. We don't have to run, go beg nobody, no money. We don't have to wait on assistance.
Minister McKenzie was addressing a meeting of the JLP's Area Council 1 in Fletcher's Land, Kingston on Tuesday night. The meeting was held under the theme, West Kingston Live, We Choose Jamaica. In reiterating that the government has been proactive, Minister McKenzie hailed the $500 million National Disaster Fund and the International Disaster Risk Insurance secured by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. He also gave the commitment that additional funds will be allocated to municipal corporations to prepare for the hurricane season.
The municipal corporations will be using the allocation that they get from the parochial revenue fund for the month of June for drain cleaning mitigation exercise. The Prime Minister, who is the Minister with responsibility for works, have written to all members of Parliament advising of an allocation to deal with mitigation across the country. Your government is being proactive in preparing the country just in case.
Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government. Meanwhile, the Minister in charge of Water and the Environment, Matthew Samudas, made this plea to residents of West Kingston communities as he outlined measures being put in place for this hurricane season.
Anybody in Central Kingston, West Kingston that you see throwing garbage down the manhole, them including tires, including all car parts, on need to stop it because it is damaging the already old sewage system and causing problems for our people. And I am begging and imploring, call Minister McKenzie, call your supervisor, call Matthew Samuda, call any labourite you know and get the information to us because that is a big part of the problem.
Senator Matthew Samuda, the Minister with responsibility for water and the environment. And Minister McKenzie says he understands the frustration of those constituents who've experienced persistent challenges with their water supply. He says relief is on the way.
When I hear Matthew spoke about the things that needs to be done, I can tell you the system in West Kingston is old. In the corporate area is old. Meekly wait and murmur not.
Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government and the Member of Parliament for West Kingston. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, says it has started an investigation into the latest contamination and fish kill at the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. In a statement on Tuesday, NEPA says the investigation is being done in Zephyrton, Linstead. The agency says the pollution of the river occurred on Monday. According to NEPA, heavy rains on Sunday may have resulted in storm water running into the river, contaminating it. On arriving at the location, NEPA says its team found unresponsive fish floating in the river along with a strong, pungent odor. However, it was unable to specify the contaminant found in the water. An on-site test confirmed an elevation in the pH levels in the water, which may have contributed to the death of marine life. NEPA says its team has collected water samples for further lab analysis to determine the source and the type of contaminant. The agency notes that it will update further further on its findings and will also advise on measures being pursued to safeguard the Rio Cobre. Former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Lloyd B. Smith says the political targeting of civil servants in the run-up to a general election is a dangerous practice. He was reacting to the call by the PNP professional affiliate, the Patriots, for permanent secretary in the Health Ministry, Dunstan Bryan, to resign. Bryan has been under fire in recent weeks for perceived failings in the health sector. Dana Davey has more.
Lloyd B. Smith represented Central St. James in the House of Representatives from 2012 to 2016. He won that seat on a PNP ticket. But on the matter of the call for the resignation of the permanent secretary in the Health Ministry, Mr. Smith has parted ways with his former political colleagues. He says the call from the PNP Patriots and youth organization is dangerous.
When a political party, especially the opposition, goes after a civil servant that is serving the government in office, then it comes across as if that civil servant is let me put it quite bluntly, a supporter of a party in power. It does have that undertone, which I think is a dangerous way to go.
The former Deputy House Speaker says if the opposition legitimately wants answers, they should seek them through the use of parliamentary committee hearings. He says the independence of the civil service is fundamental and must be respected.
We are in the silly season, and one can understand that the PMP is riling up for the general election. But, I think there has to be a line drawn in the sand that does not allow for the civil servant to be pilloried and tarred and feathered without there being due process in determining whatever they may be deemed to be guilty of, whether it is a matter of incompetence or, whatever. I think it sends a wrong message to the public at large when they are put in that sort of situation.
Mr. Smith says political attacks on civil servants risk unfairly tainting them in the eyes of the public. He says the call for the resignation of a permanent secretary may ultimately be counterproductive.
Let's face it, if you ask someone like a permanent secretary to resign, okay, so he packs up his bag and goes. Does that really solve the problem? Does that make the thing more clear in terms of what went wrong? I don't think so. It is best to have the person stay in the position and then you carry out the necessary probes, whether, as I said, by a public inquiry or a commission of inquiry or a special committee of parliament to look into the matters at hand. We have the Auditor General, we have the Integrity Commission, we have all these areas that can be brought to the fore to deal with these matters.
Lloyd B. Smith was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Dana Davey for Nationwide News.
Minister with responsibility for information, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, says people must face consequences for purposefully spreading misinformation. Dr. Morris Dixon was speaking on Tuesday evening at a JLP Area Council 1 meeting at Fletcher's Land Community Centre in West Kingston. She says the Holness administration is not afraid of criticism.
We are very much supportive, and we have always been, as a party, the right to say what you want to say. But what we are saying is that you must say things that are true. And when you say things that are false, and you know it's false, and you spread it, there has to be consequences for that. Of course you can cuss us. We can take it, because we know we're doing a good job. And usually the cussing just means we know you can do even more because you're so good already. So we are right with the cussing. What we want, though, is for the conversation to be based on truth.
Dr. Morris Dixon says the JLP strives for a democratic society. However, she says people should not think they will be able to get away free with spreading lies.
We're a country that's built on democracy. We're a country built on freedom of speech. Anybody can say anything, right? And that's what we're built on. And that's a great thing, and that's an important thing. But at the same time, what you're saying have to be truthful. It can't just be lies. And so what the government has to figure out is how do you balance it? You don't want to stop people from talking. You don't want to stop people from saying, I don't like what you just did, or I think you could do it better. because that's what you do in a democracy. You say what you want, but it cannot be that you're allowed to say anything you want, especially when it is a lie.
All right, children, it's getaway, not getaway free. That was Dr. Dina Morris Dixon, Minister with responsibility for information. Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, says legislation already exists to effectively respond to malicious and harmful communication in the online space. She was responding to Prime Minister Andrew Holness's declaration that the government will be exploring ways to clamp down on the spread of fake news and misinformation in the digital space. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
Michael Jackson says for more serious online offences, victims can seek redress under a raft of existing laws.
You have the Defamation Act. It was revised in 2013 thereabout following a repeal of the sedition law. What it says, if someone were to share information about you that is either false or may cause reputational harm, you do have the recourse of the court. It doesn't have to lead to compensation, and make reference to Darrell Vaz's case recently where the individual was asked to make a public apology. You also have the Cybercrime Act where if you share malicious information and information that is threatening or menacing, you can find yourself facing possible criminal charges. However, there is a particular threshold that must be met wherein the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is going to be asking the question, was there criminal intent or were you just careless in what you were sharing?
Ms. Jackson says the Offences Against the Person Act and the Data Protection Act can also be used to provide legal protection from online attacks. The Prime Minister's suggestion of a clampdown has been criticized in some quarters as a potential threat to free speech. The opposition PNP has specifically criticized the Prime Minister's utterance as a threat to democracy. Ms. Jackson says the government should seek to better utilize official channels to combat false information in the digital space.
If the issue is that people are not sharing information that is accurate, I ask the question, what is the non-legislative means that we can exercise right away? We have the Jamaica Information Service. We have PBC. How can they do proactive information sharing to ensure that we raise the consciousness of our people and we also raise the knowledge base of our people? So if someone puts information out there, based on my knowledge of processes, the achievements of the government, the policy positions of the government, but also the other members of parliament, I can say, that is not true. So that is also an area that we can lead on.
The JFJ Executive Director says the Prime Minister should exercise caution in his utterances to avoid creating unnecessary panic in the society that citizens are being tracked and monitored online by the government.
Absolutely. There was consternation when I heard the comment. And again, I just urge the Prime Minister to be a little bit more cautious in comments being made of this nature and to ensure that the government has a developed policy position on these matters, because we are operating in a time when there is sensitivity. We have NIDS being launched now and the public may be listening on and say, will my information be used for the purpose it was not intended to? So the Prime Minister should exercise caution.
Ms. Jackson was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Mahiri. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has landed in Australia after walking free from a U.S. court. He hugged his wife and father at the airport as a small group of supporters cheered his arrival. He pleaded guilty to one charge in the court in Northern Mariana Islands on Wednesday, bringing to an end a 14-year-long court battle. Assange was pursued by U.S. prosecutors for publishing secret military information and fared a long sentence in a high-security U.S. prison. Last week, he signed a deal with the U.S. that would see him plead guilty to one charge instead of the 18 he was originally facing. That's a plea deal. That ends the news.
News at 7 was brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
16 minutes past 7.
Employers, mark your calendars. The annual Employers Return, SO2, originally due March 31, 2024, is now due on April 2, 2024. File online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. Contact 888-TAX-HELP for more assistance. The temperature by Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better, is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
Drive Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 5.99% interest rate. Yes, shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 5.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest 5.99%. Conditions apply.
Is there a small business person in your community making a big difference? Do they inspire you and others? How are they helping? Let the Supreme Ventures Foundation know who is your Supreme Community Hero. Nominate yours and we will select 5 community-based businesses to receive a grant to invest in their business and in the community, plus entrepreneurial training. So, who is your Supreme Community Hero? Visit sv-foundation.com to nominate your Supreme Community Hero now. Nominations close July 26.
Who shops at Creative Building Finishes? You, the homeowner who creates luxurious spaces with our floor and wall tiles. The contractor and builder who are convinced that our ceramic tiles are right for the job. The architect and designer who make dreams come true with our wood look and porcelain tiles. Superior customer service, knowledgeable staff, inviting showroom, and you get where this is going, right? Shop 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get Creative Building Finishes.
Variety is the spice of life. That's not just true for entertainment, it's true for investing too. While stocks, bonds, and cash are effective, there are other credible investment options out there. These are alternative investments, ranging from digital options like cryptocurrencies to old school investments like gold, real estate, and private equity. You can invest on your own or via a fund with a curated portfolio of investment options.
Visit barita.com/opportunities for more growth coach insights.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Going back to the streets to speak with Ludlow McLean for Street Smarts. To Ludlow, just before I come to you, the people have been asking me South Africa or Afghanistan. I work with Afghanistan in Ludlow. What say you? T20 World Cup semi-final.
I work with Afghanistan.
I like it.
Yeah, I tell you what, they play good cricket, you know.
They're the best bowling attack in the tournament. If the man they make 50, they're gonna defend it in a Ludlow. They're gonna bowl and defend 50.
But it's such a pity they have other issues, but they have a really good cricket team. You know, especially in the shorter version.
Yeah, man.
All right. But what's happening on the road now is that still some areas are still moving good. If you're on the eastern side, coming like Thursday, Glasgow Boulevard, onto Michael Manley Boulevard, it's pretty good going all the way around to Port Royal Street. You make that turn up into the Raytown Community, Ray Street, pretty good going. Windward Road, onto Victoria Avenue, then going on to East Queen Street. A little bit busy going on to East Prairie, but going up South Camp Road, it's really flowing all the way. Looking across North Street, that was too bad, going further up towards past Sabina Park, Cricket Ground, then to connect with Camp Road, not bad. Vehicles coming out of Marion Road, that's coming out of Deanery Road onto Marion Road, onto Camp Road, going further up to Somerton, pretty good going. Even going around the Caledonia, towards Nebraska, pretty good going all the way down, connecting with East. So all of that here, the bulk of the traffic really is coming on the west, heading east along Boulevard. And remember that work that is taking place on the Boulevard on the westbound lane and going towards Moline Boulevard and into Harvard Street. Those Harvard Street are the busiest area. All right, so it's a second report for the morning. And George?
Yes, sir.
We're hearing a lot about Israel and Ukraine and all of that. Yes, I've been hearing little things about South Africa. There's a lot happening in South Africa. And some positive things happening in Burkina Faso.
Yeah, man.
That leader, Ibrahim Traore.
Yes.
All right. And, you know, it is said that South Africa has, the African continent has a lot of puppet leaders.
Yes.
So I don't know. One of them I heard you mention his name today.
William Ruto. Yeah, man.
Right.
I'll leave it with this, Lolo. You know the doctor who works, my brethren on Prescription for Life, Dr. Andre MacDonald.
Yes,
He
sir.
is the team doctor for the Afghanistan team.
Oh,
Yeah, man. He left to join them before the tournament, and he's been with them all the way. So Robert Mackenzie in the chat says I'm a wagonist. No, Robert, I work with my friend. And then DJ Bravo. DJ Bravo is my good friend. So I need to send him a message soon. DJ is with Afghanistan too, so may I work with DJ. All right? All right. Tomorrow morning, Lodlo.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, man, cool.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention now to our discussion segment, the front page. Now, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the Western Children and Adolescent Hospital in St. James will not be classified as a white elephant when completed. A white elephant refers to an object that is expensive but serves no purpose or use.
We will not allow Western Child and Adolescent Hospital to open, and as some would like it to be a white elephant. It is going to serve the purposes of the population because that's why it was built, and that is what will happen. And I just want to reassure the public of that. We have a plan and we're working towards a plan.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister. When completed, the 8th-floor hospital is expected to accommodate 220 beds. The hospital will be the only institution in the country to offer specialized adolescent health care. For an update on the progress at the facility, we're being joined by the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. The progress of the hospital, Dr. Tufton, completed. When will operations begin at the hospital?
Okay. So the projections are that we have another year. So there's an estimated date of completion of June 2025. Where the team is now, they are putting in the internals of the building. So the hard structure is in place, and so it's the partitions, the critical internal components of the building that is now being done, and that's projected to last another 12 months or so. So we are working towards that deadline. There's no reason to suggest that we will miss it, but you know how these things are. So I'd say give or take a month or two, but we are working towards that June 2025 deadline.
And a part of that progress has been that I believe it's some of our representatives heading to China to do some assessments to figure out if the equipment that will be needed for the hospital can be found there. Any progress report on that?
No, that was for Cornwall Regional.
Oh, that was Cornwall Regional.
Right. The senior medical team, the SMO, Dr. Harvey, the project management team, and the contractor related to Cornwall did that visit recently to assess, among other things, equipment. Because we're taking an approach to ensure that both the clinicians as well as the project team are on one as it relates to all the internals. So Cornwall's designs have been complete, so they are actually now starting the internals for Cornwall, for that entity. So in a sense, both facilities are kind of on a similar trajectory, except Cornwall is a larger facility, so it will take a little more time. And the idea is to coordinate to ensure that we get as far as possible during the course of that period.
And so far, based on your assessment for the adolescent hospital in St. James, about how many personnel will be needed to ensure that the hospital functions optimally?
So we have a HR plan that was completed, and it estimates about 1,200 persons, and there's a list which I spoke to, both in listing the specialized areas, services to be offered, but also where the human resource will be located. So overall, it's about 1,208, and what we have done so far is appoint the senior medical officer, the CEO or deputy CEO, because the CEO of Cornwall will also be the overall CEO of both institutions, a procurement officer, and the work is now taking place to finalize the appointment, hopefully early July, of the HR officer. And that team is actively pursuing the rest of the HR personnel, both in terms of some of the collaboration with UHWI, University Hospital of the West Indies, Bustamante Hospital for Children, looking at some of the medical officers that will be needed that can now be approached, who are in the system, as well as looking at who is not available and what the alternatives are to pursuing those over the course of that period. Now, let me just say also that please recall that Cornwall Regional did have a department or unit that offered pediatric services, and there are some specialties that already exist, both in terms of human personnel and services offered, and those will be transitioned automatically to Western Child and Adolescent when the doors open. And so what you will have is an immediate conversion of those services in the new facility, while of course creating some additional space for additional services or expanded services in the Cornwall Regional Building. Because all told, you're talking about 700 to 750 beds that will come on stream over that period.
Hold the line, Minister Tufton. Going to take a break and come back with more.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:30.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
In
eliminate the hassle of managing multiple medications that can be confusing. Thanks to Houghton's Pharmacy. Introducing RX Pack, a mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play Store. RX Pack is specially designed for you to order and manage your medications. Download today for free. That's RX Pack for better medication management. Call 876-RX-0-RX-RX or visit our website, HoughtonsRx.com for more details.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
Welcome back to the front page. We have the Health and Wellness Minister with us, Dr. Chris Tufton. Morning again, Dr. Tufton.
I'm George. Morning. How are you?
I'm good. I want to put to you an issue raised by medical doctor and social commentator Michael Abrahams in a column widely published and widely discussed earlier this week. He said that it was beyond slackness that the Kingston Public Hospital has a contractual arrangement with a funeral home in Spanish Town run by a constituent of yours, more than that, a councillor in your West Central St. Catherine constituency, for the storage of bodies. He's saying that the proximity between yourself and the owner of the funeral home does not look good, and he points to it as a part of the failings under your leadership of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. I wanted to respond to that.
Yeah, I happily so. And I think I have on this program already, but I'll do it again since he may have missed it. First of all, I don't get involved in the procurement process of services. I stay far from it, actually. Second of all, he has to determine whether or not one does not have a right, if one is in a particular line of business, to apply for, in a public procurement process, a service that is being provided anywhere in the public system, whether health or otherwise. Because as far as I know, there is no law that is against such a process from taking place. Now let's look at this particular incident, case. This is a gentleman who, before he entered political activity, his father before him was in this line of business. He continued in this line of business. He has provided services for many years and opted to apply for an advertised service, which, as far as I know, he won through a public procurement process. Now, what am I to do? To get involved to say because you have an interest in running as a councillor, you should not apply? I don't get involved in that. Secondly, this idea that somehow because he's from St. Catherine, he cannot apply for a service in another parish runs contrary to what entails. As far as I know, there are a number of funeral services that are located in one parish that provide services to several parishes in the public system. And thirdly, the extent to which bodies, as I understand it, are treated with at a particular location is not just a function of the service provider. It is also based on the request, in some instances, of the police, who, based on the circumstances of death, would be in charge of autopsies or investigations, or in some instances based on the request of family members. My understanding is that based on the availability of pathologists and other specialties that are required for such investigations, or the quality of the facility that exists, a determination is made as to where people go. I think it is patently unfair for people to draw conclusions, as this particular commentator has done, because of circumstances that he believes suggest or insinuate that somehow some untoward activity has taken place without properly understanding how the system works and or doing the requisite investigation in that process. I read the article, and I opted not to respond because, as far as I'm concerned, it is just a collection of hodgepodge insinuations to draw conclusions that are faulty, untrue, and quite frankly, very unfortunate. And I can respond to every single one of them, including this one.
So in this case, just with this one, so you're saying that given the process by which the funeral home operator won this contract to store bodies from the KPH, you were not in any position to make any recommendation or to interfere with the process anyway.
I don't make recommendations around public procurement, and everybody knows that. Things are advertised, people apply, there is a process by which an assessment is made, in this instance by the Southern Regional Health Authority. If I'm not mistaken, it goes all the way to PPC, public procurement, who assesses and who determines on whether there's an issue with that procurement process. And as I said earlier, I believe that this gentleman is as entitled, given that he has been involved in this line of work, and including his father before him, for a long time. And by the way, there's ample precedent for public representatives to be involved in providing services to public health. I mean, the largest portering service in the public hospital system is by a company by the name of Jack Ben. The principal of Jack Ben, who someone I speak with and have a lot of respect for, just to be clear, is a candidate who was once a councillor in Peter Phillips' constituency, now the candidate to represent that constituency for the People's National Party. I didn't hear...
You're talking Dennis Gordon.
Exactly. I don't hear anybody complaining and asking how come he is the main provider of portering service at KPH, I believe at quite a few other hospitals, based on a public procurement process that he has applied for. And in fact, he has been doing this for many years while he was a councillor, and now he is a candidate for the PNP. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in some of these insinuations and conclusions, but the reality is these are not what they seem or appear or what others would like them to be.
Another one for you, Minister. Peter Bunting has alleged corruption in the way the Southern Regional Health Authority, Wayne Chen, and his fellow directors have been discharging their duties. Are you happy with the performance of Wayne Chen's board?
Let me just say something about that. Because, unfortunately, we have all been tempted to get caught up in the PNP strategy of what I would classify as carpet bombing or scorched earth, where they have thrown everything out in the stratosphere, hoping that something will stick. I have heard at least 6 spokespersons over the last week, at least 9 or 10 releases put out, asking for the resignation of the chief medical officer, the permanent secretary, the chairman of Southern Region, the chairman of NERA was the latest one yesterday. And it is the height of moral bankruptcy that a political organization that is seeking political office can resort to this kind of character assassination of individuals, some of whom are volunteers in the case of boards, others who are civil servants who have given their life's work to public service on the premise that somehow something untoward is happening. There is absolutely no evidence that the Southern Region, or NERA for that matter, or indeed the permanent secretary or the chief medical officer have done anything to deserve the type of reputational attack that has been placed on them by the opposition. And it's quite clear that it is an approach, as I said, of carpet bombing to try to see what can stick in order for their own political ends. As far as I am concerned, these persons have served with distinction, and I have absolutely no reason to respond to them until you have asked me, because it is not worthy of a response as far as I'm concerned.
So the issue, well, you mentioned her, but I was going to ask you about her by herself because Jacqueline Bisseso Mackenzie is, but for all intents and well, from all indications, a highly respected professional, and one would not associate her with anything that would cause her to be the subject of criticism or condemnation from a political party. In her case specifically, Minister, your reaction to the calls for her to step aside because she's out of touch with what is happening in the public health system?
Again, I say it's moral bankruptcy on the part of the opposition. They have nothing else to say, and they have clearly decided to coordinate an orchestrated attempt at discrediting not just the portfolio. I've never seen a case where 5 or 6 spokespersons in the course of 8 or 9 days have released statements attacking a particular portfolio. I didn't realize that half the shadow cabinet were spokespersons on health. That's their prerogative. But when they venture, and I know I'm fair game, I'm in the political space, and it is the silly season. So they're going to grab at straws, and they're going to make all sorts of accusations, and I'll have to deal with that. But I'm not even going to make a distinction between the Bisseso Mackenzie, the permanent secretary, or indeed the chairpersons of these boards. What I will say to them is that they should be careful about trying to burn down the house as part of their aspirations to oversee the house. Because what they're doing in the process, in the unlikely event that they get there, is that they're creating a significant credibility problem. They're demoralizing the efforts of persons who have committed their life either as volunteers or as civil servants. And it is a strategy that I believe should be rejected by all. Indeed, by the media too, because I do note that some of the media houses have taken on to every single release that has gone out. They have not questioned it. I did raise that issue even with the ventilator was raised when the first claim was missing ventilators. Then it morphed into not working ventilators. Then it morphed into ICU and high dependency units. And so, what next? What next?
I ask you this.
It is unfortunate, and it really ought to be rejected by society as an attempt at creating mischief.
I ask you this last one, Minister. The crossing of swords, because it was almost that, between Dunstan Bryan, your the permanent secretary, and the Auditor General some time ago over the findings of a performance audit. And I'm stressing performance, listeners, because there are different kinds. The main ones, financial and compliance. This was a performance audit. And the responses from Mr. Bryan to the issues raised by the Auditor General. I get the impression, Minister, from speaking with some people who I believe are informed, that there is a let me not put a character on it, but the assertion is that that they are missing funds, and they point to the various media reports of the exchange in Parliament to say that the Auditor General spoke about funds that couldn't be accounted for, funds that were missing, and Mr. Bryan steadfastly and belligerently failed to provide her with the information to account for the missing funds. I want to ask you, was the issue about missing funds or transparency around the paper trail leading to the contracts awarded during COVID?
That is also an unfortunate conclusion. And again, purveyors of this include Bunting and his gang of mischief makers. I saw him on a news clip equating accounts that have not been signed off as missing funds and corruption. It is an intellectually dishonest conclusion, just as he used the maternal mortality statistics in an intellectually dishonest way by taking a good year and comparing it to the worst year, rather than looking at the law of averages over a period of time. But let's deal with this. Firstly, these accounts, as I understand it, date back to the era of the TNT, 2013 to 2016. It was under their watch. In fact, most of the accounts that cannot be signed off on is during that period where, as the PS has said, and a release stated, they cannot identify persons who were once working in the system who did not sign off on these projects when they were there. They were either dead, they had migrated. The later years under the administration, this current administration, the information is there. Unfortunately, it is a long period of 10 years, and the accounts need to be signed off on in a continuum over that period of time. Secondly, this is not an issue that is affecting just the Ministry of Health. It spans across multiple ministries. Now, we have been singled out, I suspect, because of the tete-a-tete that took place in the Parliament with the Auditor General and the Permanent Secretary. The Permanent Secretary, in his right, and that's what hearings are for, defended his position on a couple of issues, one of which, as I understand it, was during COVID, when a particular documentation was used because of the haste of securing accommodation for Jamaicans on a ship brought back into the island because of the COVID pandemic, where the owners of the ship were in a haste to get them off the ship. And the Cabinet of Jamaica said, find accommodation for them. We had to use a performer, I think that was what it was, to secure the rental arrangement for the hotel in order to remove these hundreds of people, to put them into an accommodation space. And I believe that the ministry was accused of not following a particular procurement process. The reality is that the context of the time and the circumstances forced a particular approach, which the ministry claimed that documentation could be used as a contract. I don't want to get into the specifics because I don't have all the details, but that's my understanding. But as far as signing off on the accounts are concerned, there are reasons that have been given why those accounts have not been signed off. It's not a Ministry of Health issue alone, and it certainly does not equate to missing or worse corruption. And those who make that equation, equate that to such, whether it is the social commentary of Mr. Abrams or Peter Bunting, are either misinformed or really are creating mischief. And that is, again, unfortunate.
Last one, Minister. The issue, you touched on it, the issue of maternal mortality. A medical doctor of almost 40 years experience told me last night that a pregnant woman is at greater risk of dying now than when he was in medical school, and that the rate per 100 at which pregnant women are women are dying in maternity wards under your watch is did he say disgrace? I don't want to misquote him. Yes, that's what he said. And he said for you to be presiding over such a system points to the ramshackle nature of the system that you preside over. I wanted to respond to this maternal mortality issue.
But first of all, I don't know if you saw the Pan American Health Organization Director General's release a few days ago. I believe it was carried in one of the daily print media, which called on the region of the Americas to invest more time and effort in addressing the decline in maternal mortality. Beyond the region, at the global level, those numbers have also gone up. And they have gone up for a number of reasons, which probably you don't have time for me to go into. But it is true that during the years of COVID, it amplified the situation because of the risks associated with restrictions of movement and late presentation at hospitals for pregnant women, for whatever reason, but would mean higher risk pregnancies, persons with chronic illnesses, hypertension, diabetes, etc. Over the 10-year period, which we published, which the opposition has grabbed onto, suggests that on average over that period, there have been in each region just over 100 maternal mortality per 100,000. In the COVID years, that number went up to over 200. Those numbers are now coming down. We have accepted the problem. That's why we put the data out. We have engaged in several activities to try and address the problem. Part of the problem is the outreach and the public education and the need for pregnant mothers or expectant mothers to attend health centers or clinics to continue a regime that reduces the risk at the period of giving birth. And that means a partnership between the public and, of course, the health system. We have put in place a number of systems, including the ProMax system, which the opposition has tried to discredit. Over the last year, over 1,300 mothers and their children who had complicating pregnancies have been treated with, for the most part, successfully using those facilities. And so there is an attempt, an effort, an earnest effort to address the system of this challenge. And this challenge is not unique to Jamaica. We will continue those efforts in order to hopefully bring the numbers down and to keep within the recommended numbers of, I think, 70 per 100,000, as outlined by the United Nations.
Hear you on that. Thank you for your time this morning, Minister.
Best wishes.
Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Chris Tufton.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:52.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
30 degrees Celsius, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit account puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome. That's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. Drink after taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh fun. Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Drive Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 5.99% interest rate. Yes, shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 5.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 5.99%. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Still tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. We are about to get an update now on some caregivers who arrived in the island in March with about 58 or 59 Haitian orphans. We have on the line international human rights attorney and founder of Freedom Imaginaries, Melania Lane. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. We're getting information, Ms. Elaine, that 14 caregivers who arrived in the island in March with those severely disabled orphans have been sent back to Haiti. Are you able to confirm if this is so?
Yes, I'm able to confirm, and I want to make very clear that the situation is extremely urgent, and what we are facing now is a rupture in the rule of law that is extremely serious. Yesterday, police officers went to Mustard Seed and collected Haitian nationals who were there and transported them to an undisclosed location. And when I tried to speak with the police officers explaining that I'm their attorney at law, the police officers refused to speak with me. When I tried to speak with a deputy superintendent and ask about where the Haitians were being taken and what was happening, he refused to disclose information. And when the Haitians themselves asked the officers what was happening, the officers refused. And those Haitians verbally requested asylum, and I also submitted a request for asylum yesterday. But nonetheless, they were sent back to Haiti within moments of reaching Portland, without due process, without access to an asylum procedure, and without access to the courts. And so what I want to say in the strongest possible terms, that this breakdown in the rule of law is extremely serious. It is very serious, not just for Haitian refugees and asylum seekers, but for all Jamaicans who can face these types of draconian measures with no regard for the rule of law.
So you haven't been able to gather any information about why they were sent back so abruptly, it seems?
All I can do is trace it back to what's in the public domain, which is that there were reports of Haitian caregivers missing from Mustard Seed, and I can't understand why those headlines would appear in the newspaper and who would contribute to those headlines, because what essentially has happened is that through these series of events where these Haitians were stigmatized as persons absconding or doing something nefarious, it has escalated to the point where vulnerable Haitian asylum seekers were referred to Haiti without due process.
But Malene, those headlines were written based on what was told to us by the leadership of Mustard Seed. They said so themselves.
Well, then the question should be then, why would Mustard Seed give you that information, especially when Mustard Seed could have made contact and found the information that they needed? The Haitians were never missing.
No, but hold on, Malene. Unless you just because we want the listeners to understand, we were told by Cheryl Ritchie that the Haitians left Mustard Seed on an arrangement that saw them work week on, week off. They were put in a shift system, and so it was just their week to be off, and so that's why they weren't at Jacob's Ladder. We were told by Mustard Seed that no, we haven't seen them for about 9 or 11 days. And as far as we're concerned, they're missing. That's what generated those headlines.
And the matter was reported to PICA.
Right. My grievance isn't with the news. My grievance is with anyone who would have reported that and put in motion a process that resulted in the refoulement of Haitian asylum seekers, vulnerable Haitians who are now being returned to a war zone. And the trauma last night was extremely traumatic because they are giving me play-by-play of being returned, saying, please help me, I'm going back to a war zone, I'm so afraid, what's happening? I mean, what is happening in Jamaica is unprecedented in its scale of cruelty and inhumanity. And it's frankly unconstitutional as well. But what happened last night is we have reached a point of no return. We have crossed the line, and all I can say to the international community, to civil society, to advocates, to any just good-thinking person, is that we have to come together and make a very strong statement that in Jamaica, a constitutional democracy governed by the rule of law, we cannot allow this to happen. I'm not saying that the government must not do its security checks and uphold its laws. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the Constitution guarantees the right to due process to all people. Our international commitments set out what those procedures should be, and under no circumstance can police officers come and collect Haitian nationals, not tell them where they're being taken or what's happening, not speak with their attorney at law and provide information, and then send them back to a war-torn country without any due process. And you have to understand, the policy is to not share information and to do everything to impede access to attorneys at law, to facilitate the rapid removal of Haitians without due process. And so this announcement on June 12th of a temporary humanitarian stay option for Haitian nationals in Jamaica, which created a legitimate expectation that at least Haitian nationals in Jamaica would be afforded some due process. That I don't know what the status of that is. That was a misrepresentation.
And speaking of status, Miss Elaine, in relation to these caregivers who came with the orphans, what was the arrangement with PICA, the Ministry of National Security, the government in relation to them and their immigration status? What was the arrangement for them while being here assisting in caring for those 59 orphans?
The cruelty of the situation is that I am now looking at email correspondence from Haiti children to PICA, to immigration officials, begging them to say, the visa is expiring, can you please assist us? The visa is expiring, can you please assist us? What they have reported to me is that they were given the impression that actions were being taken to regularize the status and that they should just wait and be patient. But what happened since then is that my understanding, based on the news reports, and this is the sequence of events, a representative from Haiti Children went on the news and made very strong allegations against Mustard Seed. Following those allegations, there were a series of headlines in the newspaper which were, for me, quite bizarre about Haitian caregivers missing and reports being made to immigration officials about these Haitians being missing. And then in swift order, they're sent back to Jamaica. So I need answers. I need to understand what could have been so unsolvable that would have allowed the situation to escalate, where vulnerable Haitian asylum seekers were referred to Haiti. I need to understand why, because a phone call could have resolved this. A phone call could have resolved this. You know, so I have been working on this issue for a while. And I always say, you know, wow, we've reached a new low, but I have to say we have crossed a line, and this is a point of no return. This is a rupture in the rule of law that, you know, we need accountability and we need answers.
Among the 14 that have been sent back, were there any orphans, disabled orphans among that group? We're hearing information that 3 of the disabled orphans are part of the group that was sent back. Do you have that information?
Well, this is the issue. Because this was done in a rush with no due process, I am not going to confirm or deny those reports because I don't have that information, but I do share your concerns, because what was the process by which it was determined who would have been eligible for return? Because this happened within a matter of hours. You know, I got the call from frantic Haitians saying police are taking us. I get the call that, okay, we've arrived at a location in Portland. I'm literally asking them to describe landmarks so I can understand where they are. And when they described the situation and I saw where they are, I said, my God, they're by the wharf in Portland, and I know that area very well because I've been there many times trying to intervene on behalf of Haitians who are rapidly returned without due process. And when I saw that, I had to break the news to them that you are by a wharf area and you will likely be returned. And then they said, they gave me the play-by-play. Please help me. They say we're going tonight at 10 p.m. Please help me. The boat has arrived. Please help me. They're loading us onto the boat. And then communications went silent. You know, this is traumatic. What the government is doing is causing trauma not only to the Haitians but for the advocates working for them. We're not asking the government to not do what it's supposed to do in terms of, you know, upholding its laws and protocols. But they must afford due process and they must follow the law, and no state organ is above the law. And there's no security imperative that would warrant violating the Constitution and its provisions. And so I have to say in the strongest possible terms, the international community, civil society, advocates, human rights organizations, even the news media, we must come together and tell the government, not in my country. Not in my country. This cannot stand.
Melania Elaine, have to leave it there, and we'll seek to get some updates from the Ministry of National Security, or PICA, as to what has occurred. Melania Elaine, international human rights attorney and founder of Freedom Imaginaries.
Thank you very much.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
5 minutes after 8.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration continues to make significant investment in garbage collection across the country. He made the comment on Tuesday during the official handover of 15 new garbage trucks to the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA. Shalois Michael tells us more.
Prime Minister Holness says his administration has set the record for successfully adding 164 new garbage trucks to the fleet of the NSWMA.
We have been steadily and consistently investing in our fleet of garbage collection equipment. In 2016, when we just took over, we were able to do 4 garbage trucks. In 2017, 13 garbage trucks. In 2018, 17 garbage trucks. In 2019, 11 garbage trucks. And even during the pandemic in 2020, 20 new garbage trucks. In 2022, 50 new garbage trucks. And now we proudly add another 50, bringing the fleet to 165 new trucks. That's the largest number of new equipment that has ever been added to the fleet of the NSWMA.
The trucks are valued at $1.3 billion. They include crane trucks, tipper trucks, scout trucks, and compactors. Prime Minister Holness says the equipment will be distributed fairly across the island.
The Western Parks and Markets, that is Trelawney, Hanover, St. James, and Westmoreland, they will get 11 trucks. The MPM, Metropolitan Parks and Markets, which includes Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, and St. Thomas, they will get 14 of these trucks, and 2 compactors will be assigned to the commercial arm of MPM. The SPM Waste Management Limited, which includes Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth, they will get 11 trucks. And the NEPM, Northeastern Parks and Market, which includes St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland, they will get 9 trucks. And additionally, 5 compactors will be allocated to the roving team, the Sweep Cop.
Mr. Holness says the 50 new trucks will further boost the expansion of the waste separation program.
This new addition of equipment will increase the service quality and capability of the NSWMA. So we can now tackle bulky waste. We can now go into communities that previously we could not access because of the size of the roadways. We can now transport heavier loads and bulkier waste because of the capabilities of the tipper trucks. But it gives us another capability, and that is in expanding our waste separation initiative, which is in a limited number of communities within the country. The intention is to increase the capabilities of the NSWMA so that we can now make it a national requirement for garbage separation.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says all Jamaicans have a right to enjoy the island's beaches. Speaking to journalists following a tour of the Little Dunsriver attraction in Oteria St. Anne last Saturday, the Prime Minister said moves by the government through the Urban Development Corporation to exercise control over the property should not be interpreted as attempts to prevent people from being able to enjoy the natural environment. The Prime Minister says the government will do everything in its power to ensure that this right is realized and fulfilled. He pointed out that there were challenges at the location, including persons carrying out illegal activities. The attraction was closed due to security concerns, but is now accessible to citizens twice weekly. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning. I'm Tona Thomas.
Cool loans, I'll lend you 500 grand. Fee buy appliances and electrons. All flexible, payment plan. Yeah, man, a hot cash. Hot. I hope to 500 grand. Yeah, man, a hot cash. $500,000 that make you rich fast. 100 grand fi buy steel and black. 200 fi furniture, laptop. 200 fi keep birthday bash. Yeah, money loan hot. Get a cool loan to purchase all your electronics, furnitures, and appliances at coolmarket.com.
JANAC Global Accreditation, promoting consumer confidence, facilitating market access through internationally accepted accreditation and training services. Accreditation, your visa for global access. Accredited once, accepted everywhere. Call JANAC Global Accreditation at 876-968-7790 or visit our website at www.janaac.gov.jm.
Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We on the road to republic. Well then, let's propel we nation moving forward in a new direction. True independence, that's the projection. No more dependency, it's the best plan. Yes, we know what's best for us, cause we want we country prosperous. So make we just pull together as the general public while on the road to republic. Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We on the road to republic.
A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
We on the road to republic.
It's time for the True Juice 5K, Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at TrueJuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Sponsored by Supreme Ventures Limited, Wasinko Group Limited, National Bakery, Caledonia Outdoor, Visual Vibe, Rainforest, Jamaica Dairy Board, Select Brands, Jamaica Observer, Guardian Group, Honey Bun, Real Power Diesel, Advantage Communications, iPrint Group, New Impact Media Solutions, and Nationwide 90 FM. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
Experience Jamaica's Olympic triumphs in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
The women were not to be outdone as 24 hours after Bolt won the men's 100 meters. 21-year-old Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price decimated a stacked field to win the women's race. In the process, she captured Jamaica's 9th gold medal in Olympic history.
And it's a fair start. Simpson down on the inside, Lauren Williams, and here comes Fraser. And Fraser of Jamaica running away from the field to win it.
Fraser-Price admits she was inspired by Bolt's performance.
Most people weren't expecting me to come out here and do something. So with that in mind, I know it wasn't do or die because nobody expected anything. So I didn't have to go out there and prove to anybody, just to myself. And I went out there and execute properly as my coach told me to, because I was having a bit of problem with the reaction times. So I worked on that and then I just come out here and do my best.
Did Bolt's big performance last night inspire you or your Jamaican teammates in this one?
Yes, and the fact that Asafa is my training partner, I also came here to represent him. It's just crazy, amazing. I mean, all love to Jamaica. I mean, the support has been tremendously.
You just experienced a Jamaican Olympic triumph in Jamaica Gold, a golden spotlight.
Brought to you by Petrojam E1087 Gas Promotion, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Yeah, some people have some very difficult jobs here, and even though based on what we know, there are so many holes in this Haitian caregivers issue, and if they were even caregivers to start with and everything, and it's people you have to sympathize. But I mean, and I'm not saying it's a consequence of, but I'm saying that Haiti children did itself no favors by trashing the reputation of one of the outstanding organizations in this country. And given that the status of the quote-unquote caregivers was shaky at best, who's surprised that it has taken this turn? But at the same time, you see, people like Melania Lane, it's easy to criticize them, and easy to dismiss what they say, but they do a very important job. We are here in our country, we are secure, there's no war here in any part. And yes, I take the point, because I made the point some time ago that not all of Haiti unstable. Port-au-Prince is, but Haiti is a vast country. Yeah, many other parts that not even gunfire there. But Melania Lane, people like those are needed because they are the ones who champion causes that you and I are too busy with our lives to pay attention to. And as I said, you're here, easy, secure with your family, going about your business. So, it's easy for you to dismiss the plight of Haitians, because very often those who come to a country are taken here by somebody, and they are moving under the direction of somebody who will give them certain assurances. So now they have certain expectations. So when those expectations are not met, then it all falls apart. But all I'm saying is I see some of my YouTubers being very strong in their comments against Melanie. People like Melanie are needed, and people like Melanie are very important to an orderly society. And people who use their time and their expertise to advocate on behalf of others. And remember, she's not getting paid. And if you don't know, Melania Lane, you speak to anybody who went to the Norm Manley Law School with her, an outstanding advocate. Absolutely outstanding advocate, and a fine woman. Yeah? So she's doing this not because of aggrandizement. She could have been anywhere in the world practicing the law. And she's chosen to help in this area. So don't be dismissive of people like that, and don't be insensitive to what has happened or is happening with the Haitians. Even as this whole story, Tana, it's as holy as a strainer, and Haiti children, I maintain, has not done itself any favors by its conduct.
George, the story, the development, it has been a roller coaster. But I think there are some very simple questions that still require answers. Simple one, were these Haitians missing? Did they flee the mustard seed facility?
Are you in doubt?
I don't know.
Well, I know. They were. Mustard seed has said so, and I believe mustard seed.
I don't know.
I believe them. Well, unlike you, Tana, I believe mustard seed that they were missing.
Okay.
Because they told us that a senior official who told myself and Cliff in my office, he came here and he said, George, I haven't seen them for about 11 days. So I put to him what was said to us, that they were on a week off. He said, no, not like that. So I'm happy I have a witness in case you don't believe me. Cliff was there.
So there's that. But then as well, George, when they were coming here with the orphans, what was the arrangement that was set in train in relation to their status? What would be their status while they're here? But what was that arrangement?
That I don't know. But what I imagine that status to be, if you are coming, remember, the mustard seed made a late decision to say, you know what? We're in the business of taking care of children, of the profile of the Haitian orphans with the disabilities. The least we can do is help. And they were asked to help by the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the Prime Minister, working with the Haitian
But
colleagues.
Again, George, that arrangement was 8 months in the making for them to get here.
Remember, when they were coming, Jacob's Ladder already had its ratio of caregiver to patient.
Right.
You are introducing how many more children were coming? 50 odd, no so?
About
there
59.
You go. So you're perhaps doubling the capacity at the Jacob's Ladder. So you have to have a concomitant rise in the caregiving side.
Yes.
So they said, all right, so you're bringing 14 people along to help and so forth. So, okay, bring them. So they would have come under the understanding that they were there to assist. Is when them turn up. And I've been told that whereas the orphans had only the clothes on their back, to the extent that clothes on their back was so dirty from the sea rough trip, and they can't help themselves, so they were soiled and everything. They must see that to send hospital gowns out at sea to give them to change before they landed.
I remember that.
While the caregivers, each person had a suitcase packed neatly with smartphone and other accessories. So they were planning, they're planning to come, right? So I'm saying that they would have been taken as part of a humanitarian group, is my understanding and interpretation of it. Even like you, I'm still waiting for the official designation as to what was their status and what was happening. But Malene said that their status was that the PICA was working to amend their status, but she didn't say amend to what. But I imagine that with them breaching
and what happened
rules,
with that process before last night.
Well, what I imagine,
because
again,
she's mentioning emails that seems to have left things to the wind.
Yeah,
there's a gap in the process.
There is a gap, and what I imagine is that if you are here waiting for the determination of a process, the outcome of a process to give you status, whether temporary or permanent,
or on humanitarian grounds for now,
and you breach by leaving the facility where you were,
okay,
then the process automatically ends.
Yes.
So that's what I imagine happened. But she pretty much said that
that's a fair reason.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's how I see it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, if that is what it was established on,
yes,
that's fair reason.
Yeah, but because if you're landing, you stay at Jacob's Ladder. You should go nowhere without the express permission or the notice of your host.
Right.
And you disappear, your host don't know where you're there for 11 days.
Yes.
You breach the terms of your temporary accommodation.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah. But I wish, though, George, that the Ministry of National Security or PICA, somebody would come and just lay out to us.
Agreeing with you.
What has happened.
There are too many gaps in the story, as you said.
Too many gaps, and having us questioning
we
and
don't want to imagine
and
what's happening. Tell us.
What happened.
Why we send them back?
You leave people now to add on and take off to the
Right.
story of what may not have happened. Just come and provide clarity to the public on this matter. Everybody else is speaking except the authorities who have actioned the thing. Yeah.
Break time. Back with more.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A pure water would drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:24.
Does your organization need help to achieve compliance with the Data Protection Act? Contact We Manage Trust today at 876-339-5982 or email info@wemanagetrust.com. Let their team help you to achieve compliance with confidence and learn about their tailored MSME packages. We Manage Trust, the data protection experts. Give them a call at 876-339-5982. That's 876-339-5982. Call them today.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less,
or 2 or 3,
at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure.
The solution is simple, right? Act now.
Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
St. Elizabeth, your Hollywood movie stars are coming to Cloggy's Beach for the Black River Film Festival.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
June 29 and 30, it will be a fun-filled family day with entertainment, exciting giveaways, and prizes. Meet stars from the Bob Marley One Love movie, Game of Thrones, Sex in the City, and Black Panther. Gates open at 10 a.m. and movie fun starts at 3 p.m. Tickets 1,500 pre-sold and $2,500 at the gate. Ticket outlet Crawley's Pharmacy in Black River. Sponsored by the Jamaica Tourist Board and Chase Fund.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too.
Mother's Bakery Buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
After months of preparation, Jamaican athletes will clash at the J3A Puma National Senior and Junior Championships at the National Stadium, June 27 to 30. For tickets to the Summer Olympics in Paris, Olympic champion Hansel Parchment, plus Oblique Seville headline the men's division, which also includes Rashid Broadbell, Rashawn Clark, Jaden Hibbert, Akeem Blake, Johan Blake, and Julian Fort. Olympic and world champions Sharika Jackson, Elaine Thompson-Hera, and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, along with Rochelle Clay, Shanika Ricketts, and Danielle Williams, will make the action pulsating on the women's side. That's the J3A Puma National Senior and Junior Championship, June 27 to 30 at the National Stadium. It will be sensational.
The Development Bank of Jamaica wants to see more businesses, more job creation, and better opportunities for people across Jamaica. That's why, since day one, we've been dedicated to facilitating economic growth and development across all sectors, while providing funding and technical assistance to MSMEs, projects, and other businesses through our strong partnerships. Because helping to build better businesses helps to build a better Jamaican economy for everyone. Visit us at dbankjm.com for more info. DBJ, the business builder.
Jamaica, Jamaica, I see what I want at Phosphorus Super Sale, June 17 to 28. Call us at 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Come get your wires, breakers, chandeliers, flood lamps, LED bulbs, solar panels, and so much more. Come shop, come save at Phosphorus Super Sale, June 17 to 28. See you there at Phosphorus, open Sundays.
The Coconut Industry Board is hosting its annual meeting of coconut growers, June 29, 2024, at the Jamaica Conference Center, 14 to 20 Port Royal Street, Kingston, at 10 a.m. Hear the benefits of registered coconut growers, modern research and developments on climate-smart agriculture, the modernization of the Coconut Industry Board, and strategic growth of the sector. Farmers can voice concerns and provide solutions. We look forward to your attendance as we are seeding for the future.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. We're getting a message that the Open Society Foundation actually extends support to Melanie Alain for the work she does on behalf of the Haitians, and that's good to know. It's response to a point I made that she isn't paid. The point I was making was that the individual Haitians who she helps and has helped, they don't pay, but the Open Society Foundation does make some compensation on their behalf. Thank you for that bit of information that came through.
And two things on this matter before we go to the phone lines, George. The Haitians, if they had left mustard seed, as mustard seed says, where did they go for those 9 to 11 days? Who picked them up? Where were their accommodations? We need to the authorities need to find that person or persons or whatever organization as well. Where did they go? And the second, I see somebody asking about it as well, Villa, in our YouTube, the child that was reported as missing. I've not heard any information. We've been trying to get information as well since those initial reports about that child that was reported missing. There's been no update on that as to whether the child has been located and if the child has been located, where was the child found? Who was the child with?
You realize the danger, though. The individual who picked them up, if the police had stopped them, they'd been in some hell of a trouble,
Yeah.
Because you'll be transporting people who would have had no legal status in the country. Yeah, you could have been even. I mean, human trafficking is an extreme, but it just to say that whomever picked them up and was driving them around or drove them from one location to the next, count your lucky stars that the police never stopped you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. Who do we have, Mr. King? Alric, morning.
Morning, George. Morning, Tana.
Hey to you, Alric.
I like the color of the dress, Tana. Good looking.
Oh, you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, Alric.
Yeah. George and Tana, I said last week and I'll say again that I back the Mustard Seed organization in terms of how they have been running things and taking care of less unfortunate children for years. Tana was a bit skeptical until you pointed out to her that, George, if you're a guest in my house, and you disappear for 10 days and I don't know where you are, who you are hanging out.
You're missing.
You're missing.
Yep.
So I'd have to report you missing to the police. And if you turn back up, I don't want you there. I don't know where you have been. I don't know what you have done. I don't know what maybe you might have gotten yourself involved in. And if what I've heard and what I've read is true, that the caregivers came packed with suitcases and all of that and cell phones and all of that. So I have a feeling, my feeling, not the station, not your Tana, that they came here hoping to stay here.
Or use a brain, Alric. Use a brain. You see what I say now?
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, right. So, George, I when they heard last week that Pika had gotten wind of their absence and that the matter was handed over to the police, the only smart thing to do, which they did, was to head back to the facility. Because if they were picked up, it would have been, a different situation. So I have no qualms with sending them back in our job because I just know the lady whose name came up so many times about going there and that. I read where she was denied entry into this country twice in the last couple of weeks. Once at Boscobel Airport and one time in Kingston. So there are too many red flags there.
Yeah.
So I empathize with them, but I don't blame the cops.
I always say though, Alric, whatever we do, we should be on the right side of the law.
Right, and I think we have done it this time.
Yeah.
The second point before I go, George. You're a sports guru, all right, and have you noticed that whenever time there's going to be a major championship, either the World Championship or the Olympics?
JOA and J3 is war?
Yes.
Yeah, man. You can't predict it,
And it spills over into the games.
Yep.
The last time we went to the World Championship, Taekwondo, Tracy had a problem with them.
Yeah.
And it is not solved. They call a meeting a week ago to try and solve it. It is not solved. So automatically, he's out of the games again. So that is something that should have been settled a long time ago, so you could allow the guy to go to trial.
Yeah.
Now there's a tit-tat between some of the better coaches in the world.
No, Alric. No, you're not going to do that.
Best coaches
Okay. Glenn Mills and Stephen Francis are the best coaches in the world. Yes.
In this 4x4 situation to get the team qualified. In addition to what I read yesterday, the medical team that is supposed to be at the trials, I have read, I don't know who is it, so I want you, Gerard, to sip it out from it, because I say you're the guru. It sounds like they're having a problem with them too.
There are all kind of problems. We're working on solving all. If you listen to Sportscast for the rest of the week, you're going to get the answers to these questions.
Yes, because Gerard don't look good. Every time we have a major game to go to, It's just a problem with selection, a team with this, with that. Now it is with how much officials going with the team, and Glenn Mills is saying that they need more officials, and he has been offered by 2 countries to.
The top coaches you speak of will tell you that the reason this happens at championships time is because this is the only time they have to interact with the authorities. Because they'll tell you that if we had to do this every month, then we'd have a problem every month, because they would say that the administrators don't know how to administrate and don't make the best decisions and make the best decisions timely. While the authorities will say, well, you know what they've said, because they've said...
George, I come down on the side of the coaches. Believe you me.
I know you would.
Because you see what happened, before I go to the last thing, you see what happened in the World Cup cricket? Bravo is helping Afghanistan. Why couldn't he be here?
Because they didn't offer him a role.
And he tried to get into to help the America team, and they refused. And where is Afghanistan now?
Yeah, man, Afghanistan on the brink of the final.
And where are we?
There we are, they watch it on TV.
Just disappear. But sometimes you will wonder if we're going backward the sport, not only in Jamaica, but in the region.
All right, sir.
Guys,
yeah, man.
Keep up the look, Tana.
All right, Eric, thank you.
All right, cool.
Anthony, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tana. Good morning, George. How are you?
Morning, Tony. We're good, man.
Yeah. George, I am happy that Dr. Tufton mentioned the Jackman contract, which is headed, Jackman being headed by Dennis Card, because when this
comes for the Maxfield Park division,
That's one of the things that came to my mind, and I am saying that, listen, there's nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with somebody who is in politics and have their business to have their business going once the contracts are fairly. They got the contract fairly through the tender process or whatever and stuff. And George, one of the problems that I have with the opposition, and let me put it broadly, is that they coin things to suit their agenda, and they sell it. Well, I don't know if I want to say it's a problem. One of the things that they do well is that they then sell it for people to believe, and so they put what they want to put out there, and they run with it, and they're selling it effectively and stuff. So it is good when you have persons like Dr. Tufton who came out and make this comparison, so people can see that, listen, this is not something wrong that was done. I mean, this man, parents had a funeral follow before in type of business before, and then his son came and continued the business and stuff, and there was a need. He went through the process and he was awarded the contract and stuff. So whether it's in business Westmoreland and he put the best offer on the table, it doesn't matter where he has his business.
One of the things, Anthony, we forget a lot of the times with these things is that we are a tiny country, though. So degrees of separation between the people you know, the people you may have done business with, and you in your role as a member of government or a ranking official, those degrees are small. It's very likely that people who know people are going to be doing business together or what. So we're not a country of 300 million or like India, 1.4 billion. Where, you know what I mean, somebody, your best friend turn up to be executing a contract under your ministry, you're going to say, hold that, you know what I mean? I mean, it's very likely, a very tiny society we forget. So, yeah, that's that. But I hear you this morning, my friend.
One other quick point, John.
Yes.
One other quick point. I used to work for a particular organization in Jamaica that you know.
Yes.
And stuff. And because of that job, I used to go to the different ministries to cover ministers. And for some reason, George, and this is personal, my spirit could not take Peter Bunting. I don't know why I can't put an angle on it, but the man just was not sincere to me. Every time I saw Peter Bunting, I felt like my spirit just get cross and all those stuff. So when I hear him coming out and making these false allegations and lies and all of these stuff recently, George, I was like, oh wait, maybe that was just it. This man is have only self-interest, and it's just anything that can. Listen, I don't care what happens. Once at the end of the day, me win. Even if the ship have a sink, all I want to do is win, and that is how I view Peter Bunting. Very insincere, but very strategic too, and that's why Mark Golden in friend is the leader of the party now. Because guess what? They might try to trick the people and stuff. But listen. This man, to me, Peter Bunting, we need to really think about who he is and stuff, because I think he's very self-centered and someone who I think should not be trusted. And this is my personal opinion.
All right, sir. Hear you loud and clear, Anthony. Thank you.
Keisha, good morning.
Hi, Tony. Good morning. Hi, John. Good morning.
Morning, Keisha.
How you doing?
Good. How you do?
Fabulous. Judge, I'm not sure what people PNP is doing. We have known over the years that they use propaganda in the windows, and that's their strategy over the years in winning elections.
So you say you're not surprised? You're not
surprised?
surprised? Mm-hmm.
Judge, I've been following politics for some 35 years, so not surprised. No, because for them, it's winning election at any or all costs. That's them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But it's really sad. And George, I am saying to you that healthcare is in a better position than when Dr. Alfred Dawes came out. I think it was 2014.
2015 it may have been.
Stating the state of affairs underneath the PMP, the People's National Party, where he even go as far as to say they had to be using garbage bag as aprons.
Yes.
In the theater. You remember that, George?
Yes, I do.
Right. So I'm saying, yes, George, more can be done. And when people are talking about that there's no bed space in the hospital, people must ask themselves this: why there's no bed space in the hospital, George? You would have been there. You would have read the news, the amount of accident that's taking place, the amount of gunshot wounds, the person who are taking up the bed space in the hospital. And some people them who just careless.
Yeah.
Some people them enough to resolve them conflict, and some people who take what them loved one for them home and carry they got dumped there like it's infirmary.
Yeah.
So until we can fix them situation, the judge will have bed space in the
you know what was said to me last night by two medical doctors, Keisha, in another place, and I'm so happy it was medical doctors who said it, because if Mayor Turner said it, no, you'd hear certain things. But anyway, the two medical doctors, one with close to 40 years and the other with 47 years, they said that part of their concern with the healthcare system, they don't believe that the quality doctors that we're producing are of the highest standard. They said that compared to when they went to medical school and their internships that they were mandated to serve and the quality of those internships, they believe, they said, not me, they said, two medical doctors, Drs. Paul Wright and Dr. Michael Abrahams, said we're not producing and training doctors up to the highest standard for them to then be able to give the best care to patients. That came out of the mouth of two doctors. So I don't know if that's something we want to consider.
Dr. Abrahams are the better person to say that.
Yeah, man. Me don't know about medicine nor you, so we can't say that.
Yes. But what I can observe as a person that uses the public health facility over the years, plus I have children to have to go there, I am saying that it is in a better position now than many years ago. And as I said, George, there's still room for improvement. But when COVID came here, our health care stood up better than that of the United States and many first world countries.
Yeah, you know,
Am I lying, George?
No, it's difficult. We lost 3,300 people. We had 160,000 COVID infections, better than many countries of a similar size. I'll say this to you, Keisha. that for those who harp about the quality of the health system, and I am adamant that for what we are spending, we should be getting better outcomes. I am adamant that things should be better. But what I'm also saying is this. There was no golden period under no administration when people didn't have to sleep on chairs, when people who had emergencies were seen immediately, when you could go to the hospital if you want to spend 1 week, you could spend 1 week, when there was no such time. So no administration can point and say, when we were in power and people came to the hospital for care, as you quint to get through when you're gone in your yard, or health centers were not crowded. You ever drive past the health center? What health center name, Jermaine? The one on Red Hills Road across from St. Richard's, beside the KFC. Sunrise Health Center. And you see the crowd there, or any, just pick a health center at random. So I'm saying that, my problem, Keisha, is that the same problems we've had in health in 2000 or 1995 are the same problems we have now, and that's my problem. That's my problem.
I'm saying that what I know for a fact over the years, when you admit in a hospital and you look around, you see far more bed space. I bed space for me, some people are talk about tonight at me,
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, George, you go into the hospital, you see far more bed space is created. So if you did have probably say 50 bed space at a particular hospital, let's say in 2000 and let's say 16, probably now you have 70. It's been increased, but based on what is going on in the country, they are being taken up.
Yeah, and the number of social patients, you mentioned that too, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Right, yeah.
And one thing before I go, George, quickly. These individuals who came from Haiti that they call caregivers, were these individuals the caregivers of these special needs children?
Let's just put it this way, Keisha. They traveled on the boat with them over.
But why do they call them caregivers? Because what I know, George, when children have special needs, whoever is in trust in their care has to had some level of training.
Absolutely. They had none.
Something is just a miss.
Whole heap of things are miss. You know, your Tana said, whole heap of questions.
Whole heap of questions to be answered. Because, George, you're right. I agree. And as I already said, if somebody came in my care and vanished for 11 days, hello, you are missing.
You're missing, yeah, man. Of course you're missing.
Whoever transport this person or take away this person from where they should be under interrogation ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, blessings.
Thank you, Keisha.
Welcome.
All right. Birthdays after these.
Make a plan to stay on top of your mortgage. Stick to it. Pay on time. The time by the MHD is
8:48.
Is there a small business person in your community making a big difference? Do they inspire you and others? How are they helping? Let the Supreme Ventures Foundation know who is your Supreme Community Hero. Nominate yours and we will select 5 community-based businesses to receive a grant to invest in their business and in the community, plus entrepreneurial training. So, who is your Supreme Community Hero? Visit sv-foundation.com to nominate your Supreme Community Hero now. Nominations close July 26.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome. That's how we serve it. My menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated warm staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best because to them, you're the best. That's the new Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The new Walters Pharmacy. Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
This summer, transform your summer body with the Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
Presenting another finalist in the 2024 Jamaica Festival Song Competition.
Greetings and salutations, my fellow Jamaicans. I am Alex Anderson. Jah love this land. Jah love this land. So we will do the best we can, the only way Jamaicans can. Stronger together, making Jamaica better. Jah love this land.
Jamaica Festival 2024.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you never lie my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso.
Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Forman las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Vendámelo, yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo, mami, esto es candidándolo. Sabes que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabes que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me pruebas de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver con tu amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. A special person this morning is the general manager of Nationwide 90 FM. Oh. It's the birthday of Joan Forrest Henry and GM. There's a special, extra special message here for you. It says, Mom, if it weren't for you, we would never have become the persons we are today. Thank you for being a role model, mother, and an amazing friend. You know how to bring our family together like none other. We love you with all of our hearts. Thank you for all your support and your invaluable life lessons throughout our lives. Thank you for always providing us with hope encouragement, joy, and support. You're the best mother, and I hope that your birthday is as unforgettable as you are. So happy birthday, Mom. This one says from your children, Kalia and Brandon, and I hope I'm pronouncing your daughter's name correct. She did send a breakout, but I'm still uncertain, but I'm seeing here Kalia. So happy birthday to you, GM. So greetings coming from your children as well as your NTM and your NNN fam bam. We're sending you as well much love and light on your special day. Happy birthday,
Joan. I thought, okay, you know what? It's all right. But I'll take that up with her. Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday to
Happy
you,
birthday,
GM.
Joan. Drink and eat and be merry.
Indeed.
Even though on a Christmas. Yeah, enjoy.
Indeed. And checking for some more birthdays
Jav
in
Javbi.
the WhatsApp.
Jav Javbi on YouTube says, happy birthday to my sister, Little Miss from Irish Pen. Love you. So Jav Javbi, happy birthday to her sister, Little Miss from Irish Pen. Jav Javbi says she love you. Linda Ming says, happy birthday to Monica Chambers from your friends at church. So
Happy
Linda
birthday.
Ming, yeah, Monica Chambers, your friends at church say, happy birthday.
Some more birthdays. Happy birthday to Dion Williams. They're in Sav. Happy birthday as well to Percival J. Patterson in Mobay. Happy birthday, Nadine McFarlane in Sav, Clive Powell. All of these greetings coming from Sergeant Wallace. And happy birthday to Natalie Hera in VVIB. Big up yourself, Natalie. Happy birthday to you. They're at the NCB Halfway Tree branch. Greetings coming from your daughters, Danae and... from your daughter Danae and Tristan, your husband. Oh, wait. Does Natalie have one daughter? Oh, it's two girls. So Danae and Tristan, your daughters, as well as your husband, Len. So, and they're saying, big up yourself. Happy birthday to you. They love you so much. So happy birthday, Natalie. And over on Facebook, happy birthday to Claudia Hutchinson, Carrie Ann Davis, Sadiq Mahabir. Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to Tremaine Gordon, Sunny Zhang, and it's also the birthday of Melly Mel's Carter and Fiona Carr. Happy birthday, Fiona. Big up yourself. Hope you have a great day as well.
In the YouTube chat, there is another one. Rich Richards says, happy birthday to Rich Richards. So Rich Richards is, I guess it's an NNN YouTube thing.
I think it's
unique to them. Rich Richards, happy birthday to you, my friend. And the greetings are coming to you from Rich Richards. Big up.
And Ken Ellis sending happy birthday greetings to Sophia Murphy from K. Maureen McKenzie sending happy birthday greetings to daughter Chantal. And Chantal, the message for you, I hope you have a wonderful day, my darling, your mom is saying.
And Rich Richards, Leroy wrote, he said, you must send the goat leg for you, the back leg. I jerk the back leg and wrap it up in a foil paper. Send it for you to eat today. You're going to need a new set of teeth because that's tough. Can't ask Leroy to give you that. Morning, Leroy. Big up yourself, my friend.
Those seem to be all the birthdays. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating your birthday today. And if you're celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning
fast,
in.
man.
I know, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide This Morning NTM. Thanks to our technical operator, the musical maestro, Jermaine King, to our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith. And hey to you, Kimon. Hope you will feel a lot better at the end of today. Up next, you have the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton. And at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. Is he back today? No?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay, so for Cliff Hughes Online today, Tyrone will be joining you at 10 a.m. I'm Tawna Thomas.
And Beverly Ricketts says, George Davis, I'm a dual citizen. She says, me a dual Afghan Jamaican citizen. All right.
All right, Bev. Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
For decades, countless Jamaicans living